What is up, YouTube? My fellow disc golfers, how are we doing today? Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I really do. Let's get into it. My name is AJ, going by DG Guy 9000. I'm 37 years old. I'm still fairly new to the sport. I just found out about the game in 2020 whenever the COVID pandemic took off. A lot of people did. A lot of people found out about the game at the same time, and since then I believe disc golf it has taken off. We love it. We love it. Thank you for getting out on these courses, putting in coursework, cleaning some things out, throwing some plastic, tickling some chains. It's a blast, ain't it? I love it. So, how did I get into disc golf? I didn't know about the sport. I didn't know it was a real sport. Whenever I was a kid, I could remember seeing the little toy plastic baskets, plastic chains, the little mini discs, and that's all I thought it was. I thought it was nothing bigger than that. And then I was hanging out with my brother one day, and he asked me if I had ever played disc golf or if I would be interested in playing disc golf. And whenever he asked me that, I just kind of thought he was just kind of yanking my chain. He was just being funny, because that's all I knew was the little toy baskets that I've seen at like Walmart or Big Lots or wherever it may have been. And then he let me know, no, I'm serious. And he gave me a starter set, a Innova DX AVR, DX Shark, and I believe a DX Leopard. Not 100% on that, but I do know it was an AVR and a Shark. And so yeah, I used to play Frisbee as a kid all the time. I mean, that's what we did. That was one of our favorite things to do. At the the elementary school that I went to, we had a rather large playground, and Frisbee was probably the number one thing that we wanted to do. We had plenty of room to do it, and I mean, of course, you're at recess, so I mean, you've got plenty of people to play with, and you're just out here throwing Frisbees, and they're catching and throwing back, and rinse and repeat, back and forth. So that's in my head. I'm like, okay, I did this whenever I was a kid, and it was simple. Now I'm bigger. I got a little, I'm not gonna say I'm muscular or anything like that, but I'm bigger, and I'm in shape more than I was whenever I was a kid. I was just a little tiny thing whenever I was a kid. I'm still, anyway. So we go out to this very beginner-friendly course. It was a 12-hole course in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's Rawlinson Middle School. And like I said, it's just it's basically a pitch and putt course, 12 holes. Some holes are a little obstructed, but they're fairly open. But you're so in the woods, I guess. But so we get there, and we go out there, and I get on the tee pad, and I'm looking at the target down there. It's no more than 300 feet. I highly doubt it's even that. It was probably more so 250-ish, probably. And so I get out on the tee pad. I got my disc in my hand, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to do this. Oh, let me tell you. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that I was cocky, but I just thought I kind of had it. And so I get up on this tee pad, and let's keep this between us now. Don't tell anybody. But let me tell you, whenever I ripped on this disc, this little lightweight DX Shark, it couldn't have gone no more than 50 feet, and I put everything I had into it. So from that moment on, I was hooked. was like, okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be at all. Like, seriously. I'm so used to throwing frisbees and they just come down. No, this thing went it was bad. It was really bad. And I was like, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be. And I've been hooked ever since. I mean, hooked. It's a very awkward motion for me, and honestly for probably anybody who's getting started. It's just not a motion that your body is going to naturally do. I mean, this really does take some work, and I'm not a teacher, I'm not a professional, so I can't tell you the best way to go about getting big distance or hitting your lines the way you need to, but I can tell you that for me, I would say whether you start from the ground and work your way up, or start from your arm and work your way down, whatever works for you. But start somewhere and stick to that for a little bit. Don't just put 5 minutes into it and be like, okay, I got it. Because you don't. I promise, you don't. Because you have to get one thing right, and then you have to get another thing right, and then you have to get another thing right to get all these things to fall in line with each other. It truly is all about timing. It really is. And like I said, I'm no professional, not even close. I wouldn't even take the title of being an amateur disc golfer, honestly. 3 years into it, I'm not an amateur. I am still in the rookie stage. I'm still trying to learn how to get my lower body to work with my upper body, my shoulders, getting my hips and my core to help rotate this noodle arm and sling a disc out. And so I started off throwing that DX Shark I was talking about. I threw it. It couldn't have been no more than 50 feet. It is what it is. And I've gone from Innova baseline to premium, and then I've gone to Discraft. I've gone to Trilogy, dynamic discs, and Latitude 64 mostly. Didn't really do a whole lot with Westside discs, honestly. I can't even say that I've thrown a Westside disc to even know if I like it or not, honestly. But I know I like dynamic discs and I like Latitude 64. I like their plastics, and they were flying well for me. But from there I moved over to MVP. I got my first MVP disc was a Hex, and I don't know, it's something about MVP. Big shout out MVP. Y'all are my go-to brand. The profile of your disc is just perfect for my little hands. I have little hands, and the other companies, the rims are slightly deeper, a little bit higher profile, and they just don't feel right in my hand. And so MVP, Axiom, Streamline, that's my go-to brand. I'll make another video. I'll do an in the bag video for you guys to see what's in my bag and what I'm throwing. But I started off throwing, like I said, 50 feet, maybe 60 if I was lucky. And now I'm throwing 3 years into it, and I'd say I'm probably hard stuck at around 320, 350, because I mean I'm still working on it. And that's one thing I will tell you and anybody in this world, any new players to disc golf or any sport that you play, whether it's baseball or basketball or soccer or football, whatever it may be, maybe a job that you do, or if you're creating an event for a friend or a family member, or whatever the case may be, always put everything you've got into it. And don't expect anything perfect. It's not going to be perfect. you're going to have to dedicate some time and some commitment to this. It's going to take some work. It really is. But my best advice to anybody out there, you that's watching, new players, anything, never get discouraged. It's not always going to go how you want it to go. But the minute you let it get in your head and you get mad at the game, it's going to be a bigger problem after that. I promise. That's what I started doing. I don't have a whole lot of patience. So never get discouraged. Never give up. That's what we don't do. We are not quitters here, are we? No. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. If you have to, slow down. Make some videos of yourself if you're playing disc golf. See what you're doing that other people are not doing and try to implement it into your throw. I'm just going off of disc golf because that's what I do. I'm into disc golf. I can't tell you anything about any other sports, but my advice to you is never to get discouraged. Never give up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Again, I thank you guys for joining me on the channel. I'm very new to YouTube. I've only used YouTube to watch videos, so I know how to search and click play. But I will get it figured out. You guys just bear with me. And again, I appreciate you spending your time with me. But let's get out on these courses or in fields and get some field work in, practice. Let's sling this plastic, tickle some chains. Let's go.